don't get him, the cartel will, right? And they don't forget.
No offense, bud.
Let's dive into the stories shaping this year's most gripping releases. These are the 2025 movies you probably missed. Scurry, 2025. Two strangers are trapped beneath a collapsing city as a monstrous attack rages above. Injured, isolated, and surrounded by unstable tunnels, they're forced to push deeper underground in search of an escape. With dwindling resources and a threat that seems to hunt their every move, the pair must trust each other long enough to navigate a maze that grows narrower and deadlier with every step. Robin Hood 2025. This retelling follows Rob, a Saxon forester's son forced into rebellion, and Marion, a Norman noblewoman caught between two worlds. As corruption spreads across post-conquest England, they unite to challenge the powerful forces tearing the land apart. Their fight becomes a dangerous mission to restore justice, all while evading the relentless sheriff whose grip on the region grows tighter and more brutal. Violent ends. Lucas Frost tries to leave behind a family legacy built on bloodshed deep in the Ozarks. But when tragedy strikes, he is pulled back into the violent world he desperately wanted to escape. As he confronts enemies old and new, Lucas begins a dangerous path toward vengeance, forcing him to face the very people who shaped his past and the darkness he hoped to outrun. J. Kelly. Movie icon J. Kelly sets out on a quiet journey across Europe with his loyal manager Ron. What begins as a routine trip slowly becomes a search for meaning as the two men reflect on choices, regrets, and the connections they've strained over time. Each stop forces them to confront the lives they've built and the personal truths they can no longer ignore. Exit Protocol. Sam Hayden has spent years eliminating retiring assassins, a hidden enforcer in a world built on secrecy. But when he becomes the target, he is forced to ally with a former mark who has every reason to distrust him. Surrounded by shifting loyalties and waves of killers closing in, Sam must navigate a deadly game where every encounter pushes him closer to betrayal or survival. Trap House. After a cartel war erupts in El Paso, a group of rebellious teens discover their DEA parents are tangled in a deadly conflict. When one family is shattered by loss, the kids decide to strike back by infiltrating cartel stash houses using tactics they were never meant to learn. Their plan sparks a dangerous chase on both sides, turning their lives into a battle they never planned to fight. The Thing with Feathers. A grieving father struggles to raise his two sons after the sudden loss of their mother. As sorrow consumes their home, a dark and witty crow, born from the father's own illustrations, begins appearing in their lives. The creature forces each of them to confront buried emotions, revealing the fragile line between despair, imagination, and the painful journey toward healing. Now you see me, now you don't. The horsemen reunite after years apart when a global crime network becomes their newest target. A powerful diamond mogul sits at the center of a dangerous web, while a mysterious young illusionist manipulates events from the shadows. As old tricks collide with new talents, the crew faces a high-stakes heist involving a legendary diamond and a plot that challenges everything they think they know. Muzzle, City of Wolves. Former K9 officer Jake Rosser tries to rebuild his life far from violence, but a ruthless cartel attack pulls him back into a war he hoped to leave behind. With only his new partner, Argos, at his side, Jake enters a brutal hunt across a criminal underworld. Each step forces him to confront buried trauma while protecting the only family he has left.
No offense, bud.
Ballad of a Small Player. Using a stolen identity, a disgraced gambler known as Lord Doyle hides in the neon labyrinth of Macau. As he chases fortune to escape crushing debt, he becomes entangled with loan sharks and a relentless detective determined to expose the truth. His world spirals through high-stakes nights and dangerous illusions, blurring the line between desperation, survival, and self-destruction.
No more credit.
Look. I find myself in a bit of a bind.